Hey guys, this is Mel, and I am back to talk about the 100 episode 601 titled Sanctum, which premiered Tuesday, April 30th, 2019 on the CW. It is finally back. I'm so relieved. But huge spoiler alert, if you haven't seen the episode already, please go do so first. Then come back and see what I have to say about the episode. Other video reminders up on screens. Take them out to remind yourselves of those. It's still the same as they were in season 5. So there's that. I'm going to try to do this in 15-20 minutes. Since it is the premiere episode, I don't really expect me to do it in 10. I will try, but I don't really have high hopes about that. But let's start the clock. Let's begin with what happened in the premiere episode. So timeline-wise, this technically continues where 513 had left off, with Bellamy and Clark discovering this new planet, and now we get the replaying of Monty's message to the rest of the people they wake up afterwards. So I'm guessing it's still within the same day that we left off. But as far as years go, our characters have been in cryosleep for the last 125 years. Monty's last video message was apparently recorded in 2206. Therefore, our characters should now be in the year of 2281. Give or take the math. But there, in case you need a timeline of dates and stuff. But that's wow. So there's that. Huge episode reminder is the fact that we are learning of this new world, which is Planet Alpha, which is the episode objective being recon mission to figure out what the hell is going on with Planet Alpha. So there is that. But the storyline's pretty much, I'm splitting off pretty much based on locale. Like before, we have what was ever happening on Planet Alpha, and then what was happening on the Aegis mothership. So with Planet Alpha, we have our characters being Clark, Bellamy, Echo, Murphy, Emori, Miller, Jackson, and Shaw, going down to kind of have a look around to see what it is they're walking into. They've estimated that maybe Aegis 3 has been on Planet Alpha for maybe around 200 years, roughly. They also, or at least on the mothership, Raven and Jordan figured out that Planet Alpha is actually a moon, not a planet. So I'm not sure if the recon team down below has figured that out yet, but they have seen for themselves the two different suns and everything. So there's that. So their mission is to find this signal receiver or something. It ends up being in the middle of this abandoned village, inside this radiation electrifying barrier around it. And they found it with no one inside, but it's still well kept. So now they're left wondering, well, where did all the people go? Type of thing. So there's that. So with what's happening on the Aegis ship, we have Raven and Jordan working on trying to fix radio communications with the recon team. We also have Abby trying to operate on Kane with the help of Nyla. And then while all this is happening, we get two different types of confrontations that happen between Abby and Raven. Have a tense dynamic due to the betrayals between them and an underlying focus of Abby's addiction. We do also get a confrontation between Octavia and Kane about his actions as a traitor, as well as being a leader back on the Ark. So we do see a lot of tense moments in those confrontations there. So there is that. Last moments of the episode, show Emori attacking Murphy and the rest of the recon team trying to separate the two, while Clark figures out that whatever's affecting them, it's in the air. And it's based off the warning from the Red Sun Rising book that they found. So there's that. So character-wise, let's get into that. For Shaw, we found out that the mission that led him to Aegis was meant to take 24 Earth years, which he took in a heartbeat. But he tells Raven that if he were offered that job today, he wouldn't take it, kind of implying that he wouldn't leave Raven for so long, which she takes as a compliment. So there's that. Also, for Kane, we see him be put back in cryosleep to help preserve his life, considering his surgery to help fix him had some setbacks. So there's that. So let's talk about tidbits very quickly. So again, Planet Alpha is a moon, not a planet. We do also find out that Becca, aka the creator of Ali 2.0. She's the one that did tech work for Aegis, and Shaw actually met Becca on the day of his mission launch. So Becca's involvement is kind of why we see the Polis Infinity symbol all over the Alpha Village that our recon team had come across. So there is that. We do see the eclipsing suns happening. It's going to span over at least 2 episodes. So there's that. We do find out that 417 people of one crew died during the war against Allegius in that gorge, which took place in 512 and 513. We also find out that Allegius 3 had sent families on the missions so that they could stick together. And that's because the photos that they saw of the Allegius members were all of the same name. So that's kind of where the conclusion came from. So there's that. Okay, right. Now let's talk about ship status. So Bellamy and Clark, they actually talked about her radio calls. And then we also see him being supportive of her and try to give her hope while everyone else doesn't trust her based off of her latest actions. So there's that. For Raven and Shaw, we do see them sleep together before they separate for their separate missions. For Bellamy and Echo, we do see them strong together, and she does share her belief with him that she believes he will forgive Octavia one day while he doesn't believe he will. For Murphy and Amori, we do have them being tense with one another, him trying to get her to lighten up, and she just doesn't want to. We do see him singing at one point to try to get her to loosen up. But yeah, it's still a little cold between them. I'm not counting her attack at the very end of the episode, because that was influenced by the eclipse, but yeah, they're kind of on rocky water still. With Bellamy and Miller, though, we do have a moment between them where they kind of establish that there are no hard feelings between each other. Miller thought that Bellamy wouldn't trust him anymore because of him standing with Octavia and throwing him into the arena. Bellamy doesn't blame Miller. He blames Octavia for that. He still trusts Miller since they go way back. So I'm glad that bromance is still going. Also with the couple of Miller and Jackson, we do see them together and supporting each other as they deal with their questionable actions while in one crew. So there's that. We don't really get to see much of them as a couple together, so it's great to see them have that little bit of moment. And Echo and Bellamy also witnessed this from afar as well. So there's that. Also with Kane and Abby, they are both reunited just briefly and long enough for Kane to see that they've arrived at Planet Alpha. They both believe that whatever they had done in their lives was meant to happen in order to get them to Planet Alpha. So there's that. Of course, Octavia doesn't have that same stance as them, so there is that. But let's move on to a shocking moment of the episode. I will have to say I was very surprised to see Shaw die already. I should have figured with the way that him and Raven kicked off the episode, I should have figured something was going to go wrong. That usually is the case with couples that have this whole build-up tension and then all of a sudden they get killed off. Although I did just read, though, it is due to the fact that the guy who plays Shaw got another job on a different show, so you kind of can't get around it. But it just sucks that the moment that they've gotten together and it's just like, bye, that's it. So I'm surprised that it happened so quickly out of the gate. So there's that. But moving on to top 3 favorite moments, I will have to say the first favorite would have to be all the parallels we got in this episode to the pilot episode in 101 where we had the delinquents coming down to earth for the first time. We do get the callback of the "we're back bitches" phrase line. We do get the whole swim in the first water source that they find. Instead of Octavia, it's Murphy this time. Clark being there both times and worrying that something's wrong when they didn't surface as quickly. We do get to see that Planet Alpha, the fact that its nature is attacking its inhabitants is very similar to the Earth that the delinquents had come across, finding the acid fog, finding the grounders trying to attack them, and finding all these other things that we just don't expect Earth to have. So that's another parallel there to find themselves walking into a world that is trying to kill them, type of thing. So it's very interesting to see all the different ways that we got to have not only a visual callback for us, but to have the characters make a comment about the fact we've been here before. This is something we've done, especially with Bellamy, Clark, and Miller. They and Murphy a little bit. They referenced to the first time they did it together as delinquents. So that was pretty cool. Another favorite of mine has to be Bellamy and Clark again. Absolutely. It was great to see them have a little bit more time talking with each other. Specifically in that in the house where they're talking about, where Bellamy reveals to Clark that Maddie told him about her radio calls for the last 6 years. Having that little moment of her explaining to him why she did it and why she kept doing it, and then him making a little joke of it at the end. Okay, I get it, but at least I'm glad that it was talked about, and they seem to be on good terms about it, or as good terms as you can get. I also do appreciate the support that he is giving her. While everybody's kind of like doubtful and not trusting of Clark due to her latest actions, it was great to see Bellamy not be one of those people and just kind of tell her like, and have him tell her like, give them time. They'll come around, and like checking in on her and still turning to her for advice or to make decisions, or at least to consult with about things. I'm really glad we're getting back into that again. So I do appreciate that they're working on it. So there's that. Another favorite I did like is that we got a little bit more of Jordan, and he's just so cute. And while I absolutely am going to miss Monty and Harper, at least I'll get a little bit of them in Jordan. And he's so adorable, and he's so helpful. His first true conversation with Clark was cute. His interaction with Raven was amazing. It's just like, I can't wait to learn more about Jordan, and then through him we can learn a little bit more about Monty and Harper as parents for him. So that's something I'm looking forward to as well. And then another favorite I did have was Raven and Shaw. Just having them be able to have a happy moment together at the very beginning. Needless for us to know that he was going to die later on, but I was just glad that we got her to finally have that happy moment. It kind of sucks to have it taken away, but at least they did resolve what their feelings were towards each other. So there's that. But let's move on to top 3 peak moments, which is the first one, the fact that Shaw died. I understand that outside the show, that's what influenced it, but in the show, it just sucked that it had to happen moments after they had just gotten together. I mean, like, isn't that what happened with Clark and Lexa in 307? I mean, it's like, yeah, like, isn't that what happened? Isn't that what happened with Clark and Finn, too, at one point? It's just, like, it's a very bad parallel to have, for sure. So, who else did... Well, technically, Raven and Finn, too, but yeah, but you know what I mean, right? It just sucks to have the one person she was able to get close to and build a bond with is now gone. And she's not even there to be there in his final moments. It truly sucks. So there's that. And then another peep I did have was the fact that on the mothership, they decided to wake up all these people from cryo sleep prematurely. Like, I don't get why they had to do that before they've established their situation. I mean, it truly, the premature wake up for all the people happened because Abby wanted to start surgery on Kane, and she needed the blood of all the original Sky Crew people to help donate their blood for Kane's surgery. I feel like I was so annoyed by that, because eventually, first off, the recon team left down, so it would have been smarter to keep everyone in sleep except for those who are monitoring them and the recon team. And then once the recon team comes back and joins them and lets them know that, okay, this is the situation, we can actually go down and settle, then okay, wake the people up. Don't wake them up beforehand, because now you're just going to cause chaos. You're going to have old tensions running high. You're going to have people having some cabin fever in there, and it's going to cause a lot more problems, and you're going to waste a lot more resources than you have to spare, right? Because while you're waiting and stuff. I mean, that's why they initially put them in cryo sleep to begin with, right? So it just really bugs me that they did it beforehand. I don't get why they had to do it beforehand. I mean, also, that's another too. That was going to be a question, but I might as well put it now. The fact that they're in cryo sleep means that whatever, their body's not, it's pretty much stuck in time. So I don't understand why Abby had to operate on Kane at the moment she woke up, when she should have just kept him in cryo sleep until the moment they stabilized their situation, they found a way to save him, and then wake him up, do the surgery. Because now she did the surgery prematurely. He ends up not doing well from it. Now she has to put him back in cryo sleep. It's just like, it seems like a waste. It's just like, why don't you just leave everybody asleep until the right time where you're able to wake them up or have the resources to do so and then do it. It's like, no, now you're just causing more problems for yourself. It's just like, no, it's just like, it's stupid. So that's why it's P for me. You can understand if you've seen my videos long enough which things irritate me and how easily I can get irritated by some things. So there's that. So let's move on to what moment will I remember most to look back on this episode. The fact that it's the season premiere. It's also the fact that it's the start of the quote-unquote book 2. So that's an interesting thing there. But let's move on to random questions very quickly. I already talked about the first question I had with Kane. Second question being, did anyone from Planet Alpha steal the recon ship, or was it something maybe the recon team just hallucinated happening because of what the eclipse was doing to them or something, or what? Or are we going to actually have a situation where people from Planet Alpha are going up to the mothership and confronting them there? I have no idea. I'm a little worried about that. Plus, I'm also surprised that they didn't lock the ship when they left. I mean, like, come on. It's like a car. You don't leave your car with it unlocked, right? So there's that. And another question, how often does this red sun eclipse thing happen? Is it like once every 100 years, or is it like once every month, or like what is it? How worried do we have to get? Plus also, where is everybody? If they're not all topside, are they all below restrained somewhere, or like what? Like what's going on? So there's that. But let's go on to predictions very quickly. Based off the promo for 602, it looks like Octavia gets attacked on the mothership. Apparently, people against the Red Queen try to get their revenge or something like that. Couldn't tell if it was a Wong crew or if it was an Aegis survivor. So there's that. We also see the recon team dealing with the eclipse attacks and trying to not kill each other or trying to figure out what the hell was going on. Rightfully so. But based off the synopsis for the episode, it looks like the team on the ground fight to survive the threat they face on the new planet. Meanwhile, Raven must join forces with an unlikely ally to save everyone on board the mothership. Oh boy. Now, does she have to save everyone from themselves type of thing, like they're infighting? Or is it truly like a threat from the people that stole their ship? So there's that. But otherwise, that is pretty much it about the episode. Let's go into some quick news. Now, strangely enough, on April 24th, so like what was that? Less than a week ago, the 100 was renewed for season 7 long before season 6 aired. So first off, that's amazing. Second off, that means season 6 is so good that the network decided to renew it before even hearing the metrics of how we think about it. So it's just like, just process that for a second, which has me truly even more hyped up for what this season could bring for us. But then I'm also a little scared by what that could mean for the characters in this situation. You know what I mean? So there's that. Now, I do have a theory about why Kane is put on ice again, even though I think he should have just been kept on ice, as well as a bunch of them to reduce any drama. But I don't know if it's possible. I could be wrong. But Kane and Henry Ian Cusack is also on the show The Passage, which just premiered in the winter portion of the schedule. So I'm wondering if that has anything to do with the fact why Kane is on ice here, and it was just a scheduling conflict on how he couldn't do both at the same time or something. At least they didn't kill him off. But I'm wondering if that's ever the case. I will have to look. I'm going to try to see if there's any articles about it while I'm editing this video. But that's what I immediately thought of when they decided to put him back on ice, was the fact that, oh, maybe it's because he's going over the passage and doing his work over there. So there's that. But otherwise, that is pretty much it for my thoughts for the premiere. But what did you guys think of the episode? What did you guys like about it? What do you think is going to happen next? Let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts, theories, and opinions about what you think will happen in season 6. Also, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and check out my other videos if you haven't done so already. If you want, check out my Tumblr page. Link for that is down below. I reblog promos, web clips, quotes, gifs, synopses, news, all that good stuff. All found in one place. Go check it out. I am behind. I do have to catch up on a lot of them, but hopefully you check in once in a while to see how I'm doing there. But otherwise, WordPress account, link for that is down below. It's more detailed and more organized, but it's still a work in progress, and everything I post online is connected through my WordPress. So I hope you check that out as well. But otherwise, that is pretty much it, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for your patience. I hope you come back to see what I have to say for season 6, or for my other videos too, if I happen to cover a show that you like as well. But until next time, guys, this is Mel. Wish you all a great day, great week wherever you are, and it is less than a minute for the clock, so I beat it. So let's all celebrate. Take care, guys. Bye.